Every personality type has one thing in common. It's the fact that a lot of stereotypes revolve around their personality. One personality type that gets the most bothered by that is INFJ. See, the thing is, INFJs are great at reading other people's emotions and knowing what a person is thinking. But there's one blind spot. It can be hard for them to figure out how other people see them. And this blind spot can really frustrate them. But don't worry, I'm going to help you figure it out today in this video, because today I'm talking about how other people view an INFJ. Even if you're not an INFJ, make sure to tune in till the end of the video so you can finally understand the INFJs around you better and let go of any false stereotypes. Let's get into it. Welcome to Success for Breakfast, where I'm serving up brain food made simple. Hit that subscribe button to get the latest videos created to give you the tools to level up your life. Kicking things off in number 7 today is people think they're socially awkward. Now, I'm sure this one doesn't surprise any INFJ, right? Because let's face it, most, if not all INFJs already fear that they come off as socially awkward. But if I'm making a video on how other people view INFJs, this one definitely has to be mentioned. But there's one thing INFJs are mistaken about though. They think everyone around them is always judging them because of how socially awkward they think they are. Well, that's not exactly true. Other people aren't judging you nearly as much as you think they are. But yes, they can notice how awkward you get when you're trying to fit into certain social gatherings. But that isn't always the case. Once INFJs get a little bit comfortable and try to interact with people, they're actually great at holding conversations, and yes, other people think that too. In fact, if INFJs work and develop their extroverted feeling function, many of them can actually be mistaken for extroverts as well. So it's true that INFJs can be considered socially awkward, but it's nothing that has to be permanent and is often untrue. Number 6 on today's list is people think they need to be more direct. As an INFJ, they all have the habit of keeping their feelings and thoughts hidden. INFJs do this for the sake of other people. They don't want to bother other people with their own emotions, but other people don't see it that way. INFJs are trying to avoid hurting people, but instead, because of how closed off they are about their emotions, they end up confusing others. And for some, it can be really frustrating. They're always confused whether an INFJ likes them or not. And INFJs that are way too shut off about their emotions can come off as rude or passive-aggressive to other people, even when that's not their intention. Even though, for INFJs, it has become a habit and they think they're doing it for the betterment of other people, but others don't see it that way. In fact, as I mentioned, some people tend to see it rather negatively. So somewhere along the way, to avoid that from happening, INFJs need to get out of their shell and get into the habit of saying things a bit more directly. Number 5 on our list of ways other people see an INFJ is people see them as intelligent. Well, it's a fact that INFJs do have pretty high emotional intelligence. Of course, considering this personality type also loves to study new things and figure out how everything works, it isn't surprising that others see them as intelligent. INFJs can speak about many different topics in depth. That gives other people the impression that they're really intelligent. Because of course, when someone knows a lot about many different topics, people get impressed. Well, this is absolutely true. INFJs sure are intelligent, but sometimes it isn't necessarily about intelligence. It's just about how the world interests them and how they love to learn about many different things. And when you combine this knowledge with an INFJ's exceptional introverted intuition, of course, people will see them as extremely intelligent. If you've gotten some value from this video so far, please show your appreciation and hit that like button. That signals YouTube that you think other people could benefit from this video too. Next up, and number 4 today, is people see them as kind and helpful. Sure, INFJs seem to be socially awkward, but that's not always the case. Even when they are a bit awkward, INFJs make sure they help everyone around them. When you look at them from far away, you might think they're a little rude, but that's because of their introverted intuition cognitive function. Once you start talking to an INFJ, they're some of the kindest and most helpful people out there. That's because when it comes to helping people, INFJs put their natural awkwardness aside. They make sure they deal with people kindly and they're always considerate towards everyone. They make sure if someone needs help, they are there to help. Even if it's a small issue, they are there. And in fact, one of the best characteristics of INFJs, according to other people, is the fact that you know if you need help, they will always be there for you no matter what. Starting our top 3 ways other people see an INFJ is people think they're observant. Okay, let's face it, it's a fact that INFJs don't talk a lot unless they're around their close circle, but they do notice everything. They might not ever say it out loud and they'll mostly ignore it for the sake of other people, but they do notice everything going on around them. However, it's a fact that nothing can stay hidden from an INFJ, and other people notice that too. When INFJs enter a new environment, they make sure to look around and observe the people and the situation. They pick up different vibes around the room, and once they know what the environment is like, and if they like it, only then can they get comfortable and talk. Yes, it's totally true, but as an INFJ, I'm sure you might think that no one around you notices that. Well, this might come as a surprise, but people do notice it. And yes, INFJs are known to be very observant by everyone around them. In the runner-up spot, and number 2 today, is people see them as calm. If we talk about an INFJ's mind, nothing about it is calm. A lot is going on in their minds and it can be complete chaos. In fact, many times it gets really hard to deal with for them. But even with all that mess in their mind, they're great at hiding it from other people. That might be because most INFJs usually think about their problems when they're alone. That's why it's so important for INFJs to have some alone time, by the way. Otherwise, their feelings just explode and they can end up regretting it later on. But even with all of that, other people tend to think INFJs are rather calm, because when they're around people, they don't let out any external reaction. Even with all the confusion in their mind, they make sure they have a pretty stable demeanor, and that's why most people see them as really, really calm. Topping our list, and the number 1 way other people see an INFJ is people think they're easy to get along with. Even with their social awkwardness, people aren't exactly repelled from INFJs. In fact, people think they're really easy to get along with. Other people tend to get comfortable in the presence of an INFJ quite quickly. If you're an INFJ, I have a question for you. Have you ever started talking to a new person and noticed how they started opening up to you really quickly and you were just confused? It seems like you can never open up to someone so quickly. So how can other people that are strangers come to you for advice or for comfort? I'm pretty sure most all of you have gone through this at least once in your life. Well, it's simply because you give off a vibe that sets people at ease and makes them comfortable. And add to it the fact that you're a great listener as well, that's why people love coming to INFJs with their problems. It might confuse you, but for other people, you are like a safe place. They can share things with you and know you won't judge them, and know that you'll be there to listen to their problems and help them whenever possible. I'm pretty sure many of you INFJs watching this might have been a little put off because people might think you're socially awkward. But don't worry, no one even cares about that. Once people get to know you, they realize just how kind you are, and trust me, for most of your friends, you are a safe place and they know they can come and talk to you whenever they need to. So be proud of yourself. That's a huge strength. What are your thoughts on how other people see you as an INFJ? Have you experienced any of these? Leave a comment and let me know. You've got this, now go get it done. Grab yourself some more brain food to help you level up your life and click on one of the videos on your screen right now.